together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. Just going to be me today running the show. Tim at work, so he will not be available today. But we've got baseball to talk about. And if you guys ask about college football, I'll probably give you my thoughts and opinions on those games. So we have plenty to go over for today. But before we get into today, we'll recap yesterday. And I'm trying to get up my record from yesterday. Baseball was a struggle. Everything else was good. And I'll get into that in just a second. I need to update my record for update my record for baseball because I forgot to do that before the show, which I never do. So that's annoying, but let's go ahead and do that to get my yikes. Yesterday was not good, and I am now below the 30 unit mark in baseball. That's we need to get in the right side of the 30 units today. So sorry about that. And we're wow. Yesterday was a bloodbath. Cool. In baseball because the site got hit as well pretty hard. So let me quickly download that. I apologize for the housekeeping, or not housekeeping, but the not being 100% ready with the backgrounds there. Cool. I'll be able to import that into today's into the thing here. But let's recap yesterday. It was a struggle yesterday. I'm not going to lie with baseball. Pittsburgh, Cincy, under 9. It was soaring over. They gave me hope, and then a garbage run in the 9th killed the under there. Blue Jays first 5 pushed. And then they end up losing the full game 1-0. Tigers lost. That was a blowout loser there. Braves run line loser. As much as I would love to do the Marlins fade, I'm sure as hell ain't laying minus 150 with the Braves today on the run line. So that might be just a stay off spot for me. Just getting priced off. But yeah, it's to a point where I'm priced off of the run line for the Braves, but it's not high enough for me to take the Marlins on the minus 300 fade. So kind of an interesting predicament for that game there, but they lose the run line there. Mariners plus 105 winner. But Jacob deGrom was pitching. Who cares? Mariners get the win there. Houston and LA under 8. I should have left that off my card. That was that game was a loser by the 4th inning. Cardinals money line was a loser. Chicago, San Diego first 5 under 3.5 was a winner. So that was nice there. But then the Rockies, they were up 2-0 in that game, and that was a pretty bad beat if you had the first 5 with the Rockies. They were up 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th, and they give up 3 runs there. So, but they end up losing the full game 6-4 in that one. And just a frustrating day in baseball. In football, though, anything that wasn't baseball yesterday won for me. San Jose State plus the 12.5. I played 1 college football game out of the 3. Kind of leaned Stanford against Syracuse. Didn't pull the trigger. Mad I didn't. And then CFL, perfect 2-0 sweep on there. Hamilton, Toronto over 53.5 was a winner, and Saskatchewan Calgary over 51 was a winner there. So 2-0 in the CFL slate there, with plays on both CFL games today as well. So there's that. But we'll head over to the chat, and then we will get into today's games. So Twins win, Tigers and Royals lose. Yeah, unfortunate for people who want to see the Tigers sneak in there. What's up, gents? Let's get this shit today. Good luck, y'all. Let's get it. Third day in a row hitting a Diamondbacks home run prop. There you go. How about them Phillies? That game sucked. I didn't bet the Mets for a reason, though. We will be on the Mets today. We will be on the New York Metropolitans today. Good morning, Nick. Nice to hear somebody's capping baseball. Yeah. Everybody's looking at college football. We do college football like videos and stuff like that. Maybe in the future, when I have more time and I'm not worried about like classes and stuff like that as well, I'll do a college football show on like Wednesday nights or something along those lines to go over the slate or whatever and things along those lines, give out what my projected numbers are and things along those lines for those games and stuff like that. But until then, college football is going to be kind of site stuff. And it's also going to be free pick videos. So, but a lot of the games that Tim and I both agree with are going on the site, and the ones we don't agree on, those, and then the primetime games, the big games, will go on the free pick video. So there's that. Orioles and Mets today. But we'll get into it here. Let me shift over to that. Bam. There we go. Let's get into it. The Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. -120 for the Reds. Total 9 in this game. And I felt so stupid yesterday because I did this game for rapid fire on picks and parlays. I gave out a whole breakdown on this game to realize it's not Paul Skeens pitching, it's Jared Jones, which I felt stupid with. Because I gave a breakdown with the angle of the under with these two pitchers faced each other in the College World Series semifinals 2 years ago and absolutely shoved, except for that was Paul Skeens, not Jared Jones. This line opened up with the Reds as -115 favorites. It's now 118. Line opened up at a 9 at -115. It's now 9 at -108. So we'll move towards the under here as well. Do I still move on the under is the question, and I still might. So unfortunately, we were robbed of a matchup between A matchup between Paul Skeens and Rhett Lauder. Lauder has been awesome since coming up to the majors, though. 80% of tickets, 81% of cash on the over, line's dropping. And it did dip down to an 8.5 in some spots. 74% of tickets, 58% of cash on the Reds. Lines moving towards said Reds. Jared Jones, a 5.06 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, 9.28 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 2.95 walks per nine, a 3.09 BABIP, a 4.67 FIP, and a 3.91 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Rhett Lauder, 1.74 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, 7.4 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%, 3.92 walks per nine, a 2.93 BABIP, a 2.83 FIP, and a 4.67 SIERA. The bullpen edge going towards the Reds. The hitting edge goes towards the Reds. 102 WRC plus, which is 12th, compared to 92, which is 20th. I would still lean with the under in this game. Am I pulling the trigger on it, though? Probably not. I wanted Skeens for the matchup with two pitchers who faced each other in the College World Series with that angle. Do I still think this game could be an under? Yeah, I would lean towards an under 9 in this game, but am I getting involved with it? No. And I lean Reds as well. I lean Reds, but no play. Red smash, Reds money line, Reds run line there. But we'll move on to the next spot here. We have the Washington Nationals and the Chicago Cubs. Cubs -135 favorites, total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one between Mackenzie Gore and Kyle Hendricks. Line open up 135. It's now 136 for the Cubs. So we do have a move towards the Cubbies and 1 cent line movement towards the Cubbies. Line open up at an 8, up to an 8.5. A move towards the over here in this spot, which is interesting and I kind of like the move towards the over in this game because neither pitcher has been particularly great. Actually, Mackenzie Gore's been better as of late, but I'm gonna quickly grab numbers and stuff like that. I'm gonna update my starting pitching numbers because I think Mackenzie Gore got blown up in his last start, so I don't think my numbers are completely accurate with him. But as for the market, 84% of tickets, 82% of cash on the over. The lines move towards the over. 88% of tickets, 94% of cash on the Cubs, with the line moving towards the Cubs, but only 1 cent towards them. So the market's not really showing any fear in the Chicago Cub money, which is kind of interesting there. Let's get into the pitching matchup here, which is Kyle Hendricks and Mackenzie Gore. Let me quickly do this so I can update my numbers real quick. It's the fun part of running a show by yourself when you need to update your numbers and things like that. Unfortunately, the show comes to a screeching halt. But I want to get the best available numbers and the most updated available numbers, and I forgot to do that last night. So I will quickly do that, and then we can have the most updated numbers and the best numbers so we can make the best judgments on our bets here. There we go. So let's get into it. Mackenzie Gore, 2.97 ERA. Nope, 1.95 ERA. 1.05 whip, 8.78 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%. 2.28 walks per nine, or 250 BABIP, but 3.6 FIP, and a 3.72 SIERA. On the flip side, Kyle Hendricks, 5.82 ERA, 1.80 whip, 6.65 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%. 5.4 walks per nine, a 338 BABIP, a 4.69 FIP, and a 5.56 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards the Nationals. Hitting edge goes towards the Cubbies here in this spot. 107 WRC plus, which is 8th, compared to 86, which is 26. So the Nationals are struggling offensively versus righties, which maybe Kyle Hendricks can come out here and pitch well. But I don't really trust Hendricks. I think that we do have a pitching edge with the Chicago Cubs, or rather with the Washington Nationals. And we kind of have a little bit of a tax bullpen there in Chicago. Porter Hodge has thrown back-to-back days. He will not be available. We have Nate Pearson, who threw 22 yesterday, 33 on Wednesday, so 55 in the last 3 days. He probably won't be available. Ethan Roberts threw back-to-back but had a day off yesterday. Tyson Miller has thrown 16 on Wednesday, 12 on Friday. Drew Smiley threw back-to-back. I don't know if he's going to be available. Jorge Lopez, he's thrown back-to-back. Smiley and Lopez threw back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday, but had yesterday off. The availability, I don't know either for those two. And on the flip side, I want to take a look at what the Nationals bullpen looks like, because this feels like Nationals money line for me. A little bit tax. Robert Garcia pitched back-to-back days. He probably won't be available. Joe Lasorda has thrown 3 of the last 4 days. He probably won't be available. And then Salazar threw 23 yesterday. He might not be. Derek Law threw 21 on Thursday, but had yesterday off. He might be. This might be Nationals for me in this spot. Nationals money line in this game. I'm going to write that down real quick and kind of shop that around. But I'm going to look towards the Nationals in this game on the money line in the spot. I like the way their bullpen's set up as well. They've been pitching better. So Washington would probably be the look for me. Drewski's saying Washington upset. Yep, I can definitely see that there for sure. I think I'm going to move on the Nationals in this game. Cubs first 5 team total under. Nats can't hit though, fair, or the under. I don't trust Hendricks for the under. So I don't know. And now, granted, he gets a really nice matchup versus the Nationals. But with that being said, minus 118, I'm going to move on them here. Nationals money line for me, minus 118. So let me track that. Let me get MLB up here. Nationals money line plus 118 for me over on Bovada for this game. Now, I'm still not going to be getting good numbers because I have everything on Bovada at the moment. Just trying to run through some rollovers and then be able to get back to being able to bet on all my books. So there's that. Washington first 5 money line or Cubs full game money line. No, I'm on the full game money line for the Washington Nationals. Full game money line, Washington Nationals. Let's keep it going here. Baltimore and Detroit. Baltimore with the win last night. We are on Detroit. Not the biggest fan of that, but we'll get into this game now, where the Tigers or the Orioles are minus 120 favorites, total of 8.5. This line has moved though since I typed this up. Line opened up 115, got up to the 120. Now it's all the way to 133 with Baltimore. So the market's pointing towards Baltimore. Probably is the side in this game. Is kind of the way the markets are moving. Line opened up 8.5 minus 105. It's now 8.5 at minus 106. So move towards the a 1 cent line movement towards the over as well. 73% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the over at the line, moving a penny towards it, I believe. And then we have 84% of tickets, 54% of cash on the Orioles. The line's moving towards said Orioles. So it's a no play for me, most likely. Let's get into the pitching matchup. Reese Olson, I want nothing to do with. All right, Reese Olson is coming back from an injury, and I think he's thrown once since then. He has a 15.43 ERA, so obviously nothing I can go off of. Has he pitched? When was the last time we saw him pitch? On the 16th, he went against Kansas City. He threw 2 1/3 innings pitched. So I don't think he's going to pitch very far into this game. They're still trying to stretch him back out after the injury. We're not. It's probably going to be a Tiger bullpen game, which I don't hate Tiger bullpen. And then on the flip side, we have Cade Povich, 5.68 ERA, 1.46 whip, 10.3 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 2.49 walks per nine, a 357 BABIP, a 4.39 FIP, and a 3.58 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards the Tigers. Hitting edge, though, goes towards the Orioles, 93 WRC plus, which is 19th, compared to 85, which is 17th. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. Just a spot where I don't trust either of these pitchers. I don't want to lay it with Baltimore, but the market's kind of pointing me in that direction. Not everything correlating for me in this game. It's a pass here in this spot. Tigers plus 122. Be more spot. This game happened last week in Detroit. Yes, this series happened last week in Detroit as well. Let's get into this matchup here, which unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to partake in the Marlins fade today because the line is too ridiculous for the Braves in this game for me to be able to lay a number with it. The Braves are minus 250 on the road. Line opened up 250. It's now 252. Line opened up in an 8 at minus 110. It's now an 8 at minus 112. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game where we have 90% of tickets, 79% of cash is on the Braves, 80% of tickets, 84% of cash on the over in this game here. I want to take a look at what the best available number for a run line is. Yeah, no thank you. The best available number I can find for a run line is minus 150. I don't lay minus 150 on money lines. I don't lay them on run lines. So unfortunately, Marlin fade is not a thing for me today, unfortunately, because I really wanted to fade them. And maybe this is, and I really don't want to lay this. What is Braves minus 2? Especially off of a loss yesterday. What's Braves minus 2? I might have to do that. Minus 125. That's a lot more reasonable. I hate that that's what I have to go to is the Braves minus 2. But with that being said, I'm gonna move on the Braves minus 2 in this game at minus 125. Let's get into the pitching matchup here in this spot. We have where is it? Max Fried taking on Adam Oller. Fried at 3.19 ERA, 1.13 whip, 9.29 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%. 2.32 walks per nine, and 296 BABIP, a 3.43 FIP, and a 3.12 SIERA. Bullpen edge towards the Braves. Hitting edge towards the Braves, 91 WRC plus, which is 22nd, compared to 66, which is 23rd. The Marlins are not hitting lefties whatsoever. So I kind of lean towards the under in this game as well. I do not trust Adam Oller, though. And I believe the Braves, after a loss yesterday, that's kind of a wake-up call for the Braves because they got lucky the Mets lost as well, unless they would be 3 games out of the wild card spot. So that's kind of something we need to pay attention to as well. But for me, I'm going to take the Braves minus 2. It's minus 125. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Marlins money line. As a Mets fan, I would love it. Braves minus 2.5 is plus 110. I took the minus 2 at minus 125. Either Braves win by 3+ runs or don't win at all. Let's get into the next matchup, though. We have the New York Mets taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Mets were on minus 120 favorites in this game with a total of, 7.5. Sorry. I clicked off a tab and my screen likes to go dark sometimes when I do that. Let's take a look at the cash flow the line history in this one. Line opened up 108. It's now minus 120, minus 118 for the Mets. Line opened up 7.5 minus 105. It's now 7.5 and minus 103. So we'll move towards the under here as well. Let's get into the cash flow in this spot here. Let's see. We have 58% of tickets, 65% cash on the Mets. The line's moving towards them. Makes me feel better about the Mets in this game. And then we have, as for the total, 89% of tickets, 78% of the cash on the over in this game here. Let's get into the pitching matchup here, where we have Sean Manaea taking on Ranger Suarez. Suarez, 4.44 ERA, 1.52 whip, 8.51 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%, 3.33 walks per nine, a 3.56 BABIP, a 3.46 FIP, and a 4.14 SIERA. On the flip side, Sean Manaea has been elite this year. If the Mets make the playoffs, he's a big reason why, and he gets the ball game one of the wild card series. Manaea. Bullpen edge, Mets. Hitting edge, Mets. 131 WRC plus, which is number 2 in baseball, compared to 115, which is 6th in baseball. We have the Philadelphia Phillies coming off of clinching last night. They clinched their playoff spot. And then on the flip side, the Mets, coming off a loss, they burned through some bullpen last night a little bit, though, but more of their top guys are going to be available tonight. Buto is available. Garrett's available. Diaz is available. Stanek is available. Maton is available as well. Alex Young, Danny Young, and Halazar Brazaban will probably not be available in this game. So, with that being said, I'm going to be on the New York Mets in this game. And we have the angle of the Phillies just clinched last night. Now, granted, I believe with a win, the Phillies can clinch the division as well. So there is that. But with that being said, I'm going to still move on the Mets in this game. They have the pitching advantage. I think they have the hitting advantage. They crush lefties. Now, they didn't get to Sanchez last night as much as I would hope they would. But this is a Mets spot. Their bullpen is fully fresh as well. So this is New York Mets here from a minus 124 over on Bovada. There. All right, cool. Minus 124, New York Mets money line. And one thing I've noticed is that the Mets and the Braves are lock synced, where if the Mets win, the Braves will win. If the Mets lose, the Braves will lose. So maybe Mets-Braves money line parlay could be an interesting look today, which, just out of curiosity, that is a plus 148 Mets-Braves money line parlay. That's kind of appealing there. I kind of like that a little bit, but I'll head back to the chat here and we will get and we'll continue on here. Let me move this over. There we go. See. Sean Manaea day. Yes, Sean Manaea day. Mets smash. Mets -1 plus 125. Go for it. For me, the money line was reasonable enough where I didn't have to lay a run line. But yeah, I won't talk you guys off of plus money. Mets run line. What Mets home run props we betting they are going to hit today? I won't talk you off of Vientos. I won't talk you off of Alonso. As you mentioned, Nimmo Alonso. Ready? How about Luis Angel Acuna? Thank God damn it, you put that one in the chat too. All right, you hit all the ones I wanted to hit on. Good job. Padres was 2-0 yesterday in the second, late in the ninth inning, 2 outs. Lost my 1.5. Ended up 3-2. Yeah, I just had the first 5 under, so I did not move on the side in that game. And I probably won't for today, but yeah. What's good, Wine Time Sports? Let's get that cash. Let's get it. Nimmo, Vientos, and Alonso are definitely worth looks there for home run props. We'll continue on, though. As we have the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. We have the Twins minus 140 favorites, total of 7.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this spot, where we have, if I can find it, there we go. Lopez and Crawford, your pitching matchup here. Line opened up with the Twins as minus 120 favorites. It's now 147. Wow, what a move towards the Minnesota Twins in this game. And on the flip, for the total, it's moved a full run down. Line opened up 8.5 at even money, down to an 8, down to a 7.5. So we've had a full run move down towards the under, which tells me this game could be an over. We have 86% of the tickets, 83% of the cash is on the over, and then we have 69% of the tickets, nice, and 52% of the cash is on the Boston Reds, or is on the Twins. So the public on the Twins, but the line moving towards the Twins. I have no interest in that. That gives me no interest whatsoever. Pablo Lopez, Cutter Crawford. Pablo Lopez should shove in this game. And I understand the line movement towards the under because both these pitchers have been decent as of late, and neither of these teams are hitting. Lopez, 1.3 ERA, 1.10 whip, 9.09 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%. 1.3 walks per nine, a 333 BABIP, a 2.13 FIP, and a 3.10 SIERA. On the flip side, Cutter Crawford, a 4.13 ERA, 1.13 whip, 8.58 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%, 2.86 walks per nine, a 243 BABIP, a 4.62 FIP, and a 4.19 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Twins. Hitting edge, Twins, 91 WRC plus, which is 21st, compared to the Red Sox, dead last in baseball against righties the last 30 days, 66 WRC plus. They're kind of struggling there against the righties, which usually we see them struggle more against lefties. So it's interesting to see that has flipped lately. And they're still struggling against lefties. They're not hitting anybody right now. I have no interest in this game. I mean, the markets are telling me probably Twins are the side. And probably that, and that would probably entail a nice performance from Pablo Lopez. But am I getting involved in this game? No. I don't feel the need to force action. I think there are going to be good spots on the card, but I don't feel the need to force action there. Twin spot. Let's go Twins. I have to go to work, but would take the Yankee game under tonight. There you go. Great show. I appreciate it, B-Hawk. Over 7.5. Twins run line. Twins home run props. There you go. And Crawford has given up 33 home runs. He is definitely somebody who is prone to the long ball. So that is definitely something to keep an eye out as well. We'll move on to the next matchup here, though. One with really no appeal. Let's get into it, though. Tampa Bay Rays are taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Line opened up at a minus 128. It's now 132. Line opened up at a 7.5 at minus 120. Got up to a 7, or got up to an 8, my bad. And it's back down to a 7.5 with a 10-cent line movement towards the under in this game here. We have 81% of tickets, 73% of the cash on the over. Line moving towards the under. So the market's kind of pointing towards a lower scoring baseball game in this one. Even though we just had a 1-0 baseball game, can we see the same thing again today is the question. 85% of the tickets, 92% of cash on the Rays in this one here. Not much faith in Yariel Rodriguez in this game. 4.15 ERA, 1.21 whip the last 30 days for Yariel. 7.27 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%. 2.6 walks per nine, and 280 BABIP, a 3.92 FIP, and a 4.55 SIERA. On the flip side, Tage Bradley, 7.71 ERA, 1.56 whip, 10.17 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%. 2.81 walks per nine, a 347 BABIP, a 5.39 FIP, and a 3.78 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Rays. Hitting edge, Blue Jays, 132 WRC plus, which is number 2 in baseball, compared to 87, which is 24th. I don't have much of appeal in this game. And there's some games that are just going to have absolutely no appeal to me. Now, I have no problem betting games of two teams that are out of the mix. Like, that is not a concern for me. I'll bet bum fights. I love me some bum fights. If I see an edge, I'll bet it. But not every bum fight needs to be bet. And this is not now granted, this is not a complete bum fight. The Rays are not bums. The Blue Jays kind of are. But no play here for me. In this game, I'd probably lean under, if anything, but no play. Under 7.5, that would be my lean. Let's keep it going, though. We have the Kansas City Royals and the San Francisco Giants in this game. We have the Royals minus 145, total of 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot, or not the cash flow, the line history in this spot. We have this line opening up at a 145. It's now a 147. Line opened up at an 8.5 minus 110. It's now an 8.5 minus 104. So we have a move towards the under. We have a slight move towards Kansas City in this game with 60% of tickets, 57% of cash on the over. And the line moving slightly towards the over. We have 78% of tickets, 72% of cash on KC. The line moving slightly towards KC. So the markets are moving with the money. Not really any type of indication one way or the other for this game. Taking a look at the pitching matchup in this one, where we have Landon Roop taking on Brady Singer. I watched Roop pitch. It was the game against the San Francisco Giants where they pulled Blake Snell after one inning. And I was like, crap, this under is screwed because I had the under 7.5. And then Rope came in and threw 4 shutout innings or something like that. He looked awesome. So he's somebody I have respect for. 0.92 ERA, 1.04 whip, 8.24 strikeouts per 9, which is 24%, 5.03 walks per 9, a 191 BABIP, a 302 FIP, and a 4.54 Sierra. On the flip side, Brady Singer, 5.4 ERA, 1.58 whip, 7.76 strikeouts per 9, which is 19%. 3.38 walks per 9, a 357 BABIP, a 3.66 FIP, and a 4.19 Sierra. Bullpen edge, KC. Hitting edge, KC. 90 WRC plus, which is 23rd, compared to 87, which is 25th. Another game where I'm not getting much of a read on this one. It's kind of a tricky game, not one I'm getting involved with. I guess it's a lean towards an under and maybe a small lean towards San Fran. With just at the number that it's at, I don't think that the Royals should be minus 145 in this game particularly, but I could see them going out here and winning this game. So it's not a game that I'm particularly interested in. A lean under, another under lean, just not everything correlating for me today to make bets. So yeah, I thought the Royals were supposed to be good at home. Royals run line, Giants money line, and over 8.5. We'll keep on moving here. This was a game that I was all over last week, and I don't remember if it was the same pitching matchup because I think it was Kirby last week because the Rangers are throwing a 6-man rotation, so that's why we're getting an 8.5 in this matchup rather than getting the 6 that we did last week. It was Logan Gilbert last week against Max Scherzer, and Max Scherzer gave up 4 runs in that game. I believe, right? He gave up 4 runs. No, he gave up 2 runs in 4 innings pitched. And then the bullpen gave up the last 2 that I needed for the over. That line was a 6 last week. It's an 8.5 this week. And that's because it's Max Scherzer versus Emerson Hancock. This line opened up at a 145. It's now 118. So we have a big move towards these towards these Seattle Mariners. Line opened up at an 8 at even money. It's now an 8.5 at minus 105. Telling me we have a very vulnerable Max Scherzer in this game. 27% of the tickets, 77% of the cash is on the Mariners. That makes the Mariners ultra appealing in this game. 96% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on the over in this spot. Can I have it back-to-back days where I back the Mariners against DeGrom and Scherzer? Emerson Hancock, a 5.4 ERA, 1.40 whip, 9 strikeouts per 9, which is 21%, 1.8 walks per 9, a 333 BABIP, a 5.57 FIP, and a 4.51 Sierra. On the flip side, Max Scherzer, 4.5 ERA, a 1.75 whip, 4.5 strikeouts per 9, which is 11%, 4.5 walks per 9, a 286 BABIP, a 6.92 FIP, and a 6.34 Sierra. Bullpen edge, Mariners. Hitting edge, Mariners, 129 WRC plus, which is 3rd, compared to 96, which is 17th. I would like to not only back the Seattle Mariners in this game, I would like to double up on the Mariners in this game here. I'm getting plus 101 on the money line. I'm going to take them full game money line here in this spot. I would also like to take them team total over too as well. Because I also would like to target the bullpen as well for the Mariners. This team total is minus 135 for the over 3.5. I don't double up on a lot of games as much as I used to, but yeah, Mariners money line for me plus 101, over 3.5 runs minus 135. I'm gonna grab both of those here in this spot. I think this is a spot where once again I think Max Scherzer is vulnerable, and we have a Mariners team that is hitting better as of late. And this is go time for the Mariners because they win yesterday. I think they're still 2 games out of the wild card spot, and they're still trying to chase down. The Minnesota Twins, who are just inviting teams back into the race. So the Mariners are still alive. And now, are they alive for the division? Technically, yes. And the Mariners get a very important series this upcoming week against the Houston Astros. But I believe we have 8 games left or 5 games out. So I believe but they do have the tiebreaker over the Astros. So it's going to take a little bit more for the Astros to clinch the division. And I'm hoping to have that division ticket clinched, which I believe was plus 350 back on May 10th on the Astros. I'm hoping game 1 of that series, they can be punching their ticket to the AL West. But until then, I'm going to double up on the Mariners in this spot. Plus 101, team total over 3.5, minus 135. I'm all for fading Max Scherzer in the bullpen there. Seattle smash, Rangers minus 130. I do not trust Scherzer whatsoever. Yeah, minus 118 now. If you like the Rangers at minus 130, you'll love him at minus 118. So we'll move on. What a matchup this could potentially be shaping up as a round 1 matchup if the Mets pass the Diamondbacks, which now the Diamondbacks are a game ahead of the Mets, and they're 3 games ahead of the Braves. So the Diamondbacks getting closer and closer to punching the ticket in the playoffs. I still really, really want to see Diamondbacks Padres in the first round. I want the Mets, if they make the playoffs, to play the Brewers in the first round. I would rather that than the Padres, personally. But let's get into this matchup here. Brewers and Diamondbacks. It's a pick 'em, total of 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look. Merrill Kelly and Aaron Savali, your pitching matchup. Line opened up at a minus 109 for the Brewers. It's minus 110. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 125, and it's now up to an 8.5 at minus 117. Pitchers looking a little vulnerable in this game is what the markets are suggesting. We have 78% of tickets, 73% of cash on the over. The line moving towards it, though, and 67% of tickets and 98% of cash on the Brewers, suggesting Merrill Kelly might be the vulnerable one here. The line has moved only a penny towards them, but yeah. And Merrill Kelly, 4.45 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, 6.99 strikeouts per 9, which is 18%, 2.54 walks per 9, a 2.68 BABIP, a 5.67 FIP, and a 4.47 SIERA. On the flip side, Aaron Savali, 3.08 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 8.54 strikeouts per 9, which is 24%, 2.73 walks per 9, a 2.61 BABIP, a 4.16 FIP, and a 4.09 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Milwaukee. Hitting edge, Arizona. 128 WRC plus, which is 5th, compared to 98, which is 16th. I lean over. That would be the only way I would look in this game is the over in this spot. I don't trust Aaron Savali that much, and I project both these pitchers from negative regression. And the question is, will these offenses be able to take advantage of it? I don't know. So that's why I'm ultimately staying off in this spot. But I would only look towards the over in this game, and maybe a small lean towards the Diamondbacks team total, but not a game I'm particularly interested in. Let's see. Snakes, Serpents, Diamondbacks. Savali is 27 home runs given up. That's vulnerable. Yeah, the markets are suggesting that Merrill Kelly can get hit as well, which is just telling me over the total. That's all that's telling me. It's not telling me that one team's going to win, one team's going to lose. It's telling me that we're probably projecting more of an over. What's good, Nathan? What is good? We'll keep on moving on, though, in this for this slate. The LA Angels and the Houston Astros, minus 215 for the Astros, total of 7.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot, where we have Reed Detmers and Ronald Blanco. This line opened up 240. It's down to a 218, so a pretty decent move towards the Angels in this game. Line opened up at an 8. It's down to a 7.5, telling me that Reed Detmers pitches well here. 89% of the tickets, 88% of cash is on the over in this spot, with the line moving towards the under. And we have 95 and 88 on the Astros. So the Angels look pretty sharp in this game. Do I want to back the Angels? That's a hard no. But let's get into it here. Reed Detmers, I expect better from Reed Detmers. 5.71 ERA, 1.27 whip. 12.46 strikeouts per nine, which is 33%. 3.63 walks per nine, and 289 BABIP, a 4.61 FIP, and a 3.24 SIERA. On the flip side, Ronald Blanco, 0.96 ERA, 1.29 whip, 8.68 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%. 4.34 walks per nine, a 286 BABIP, a 3.38 FIP, and a 4.44 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Astros. Hitting edge, Astros, 115 WRC plus, which is 5th, compared to 81, which is 28th. Ultimately, I think it's a stay off spot for me. I would lean towards an under once again. The only thing is, can I see the Astros putting up runs against the bullpen here of the Angels? And the answer is yeah. So maybe then you would say it's a first 5 under spot, and maybe it is. Let's take a look at what this first 5 under is, which seeing it 4, that makes sense. I'm seeing 4.5s out there as well. ESPN hanging at 4.5 minus 120. Kind of leaning towards the first 5 under in this game. But do I feel the need to get involved? No, I don't feel the need to press for action here in this spot on this slate. And the reason is I have plenty of action in college football as well. I'm looking for the really good spots here for baseball, especially there's 8 games remaining. You don't have to bet every game. So it's a lean towards just the under for me, but no play here. And this won't, and the line's moved against the Astros, so we'll see. Astros money line minus 215. No, thank you. Going to be a cash cow later? No. The line's dropped. It opened up at a 240. And the total is a 7.5. No cash cow. Not even close. Minus 220 right now moving. Yeah, cool. But the total is 7.5, and it opened up at a 240. So nope. The Astros will not be a cash cow spot. Let's keep it moving, though. Cleveland Guardians and the St. Louis Cardinals. We have the Guardians minus 125 favorites, total of 8. Guardians won after being after clinching. So props to them there. We have Matthew Boyd taking on Miles Michaelis. Line opened up 120. It's now 123. Line opened up at an 8. Minus 115. Now down to a 7.5. Minus 117. Move towards the under here as well. 58% of tickets and 70% of cash on the over, but you got this line's moving towards the under, which is interesting there. 84% of tickets, 83% of cash on the Guardians in this spot. We have Miles Michaelis and Matthew Boyd, 2.16 ERA, 1.08 whip, 11.52 strikeouts per nine, which is 31%. 2.16 walks per nine is 317 BABIP, but 208.9 FIP and a 3.07 SIERA. On the flip side, Michaelis, 5.96 ERA, 1.28 whip, 7.15 strikeouts per nine, which is 19%. 0.79 walks per nine, a 324 BABIP, a 4.27 FIP, and a 3.71 SIERA. Bullpen edge going towards the Guardians. Pretty clear and obvious on that one there. Both of them 98 WRC plus, which is 13th against lefties for the Cardinals, and 15th against righties for the Guardians. I can only look towards the under in this game. The line moving towards the under. The more money, more tickets are on the over with the line dropping. I like both these pitchers. I like both these bullpens. I think everything correlates for me to take a shot at this under, which I'm getting an under 8 minus 125. A little juicy there, but I'm going to move on that under. I like both these bullpens as well. I don't mind both these bullpens being a part of my unders. So under 8 for me here in this game. Minus 125 is where I'm going over on Bovada. Under 8 minus 125. Indians money line. Can't bet it myself. Stuck here at work, but Army minus 7. I got minus 6 earlier in the week with Army. I'm on the Black Knights as well. Yep, I laid it with the Black Knights. Let's get into the next one. 3 games remaining on this card. Minus 270 for the Padres, total of 8, which probably suggests we're probably not too far behind for minus 300s in this game. I'm seeing minus 280s, minus 290s. Okay, so we're saved from the minus 300 for the moment. Let's get into it, though. Chris Flexen and Martin Perez. Line open up 265. It's now 273, so an 8-cent line movement towards them. Line open up 8 minus 120. It's down 8 and minus 110. Move towards the under here as well. Martin Perez and Chris Flexen. 58% of the tickets, 63% of the cash on the over. Line's moving towards the under. I was hoping this line would move towards the over. I could play an over in this game, but that will not be the case here. 96% of tickets, 88% of cash is on the over in this one. Here, let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Flexen has been decent as of late. It's just the team is not winning around him. 3.38 ERA, 1.58 whip. He's not been bad. 9.45 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%. 3.04 walks per nine, a 3.85 BABIP, but 3.54 FIP, and a 3.89 Sierra. On the flip side, Martin Perez, I do project him for some negative aggression, but are the White Sox are really the team to take advantage of that is the question. The answer is probably no. 2.7 ERA, 1.30 whip. 5.4 strikeouts per nine, which is 14%. 3.6 walks per nine, a 2.46 BABIP, a 5.12 FIP, and a 5.25 Sierra. Bullpen edge, Padres. Hitting edge, Padres 124 WRC plus, which is 4th compared to 76, which is 20th. No play for me. Maybe if the Padres are trailing in this game, then you can go ahead and live bet the Padres to come back. I love their bullpen. I lean, I guess, under because the way the line's moving. But I don't know how to approach that, honestly, actually. Maybe it's a first 5 under. I don't trust Martin Perez right now, though. But I don't trust the White Sox to take advantage of that, though. So it's going to end up being a pass for me. It's not minus 300, so I'm not going to take the White Sox here. So no interest in this game whatsoever. San Diego smash. They absolutely should. This is where San Diego should be clinching their spot in the playoffs, honestly. Because real quick, let's go back to that one real quick, and we'll go to the wild card standings, where they're 3 games up on the. No, they're 3 games up on the. They're 5 games up on the Braves with 8 to go, so their magic number is probably like 3. So there's that, and we will keep on going now. New York Yankees, Oakland Athletics, minus 175 for the Yanks. Total of 7.5 in this game. Line opened up 165. It's now 173. Line opened up 8 at even money. It's now 7.5 minus 117. Move towards the under. Move towards the Yanks. Expecting Rodon to pitch well in this game, which absolutely I can absolutely see. 86% of tickets, 87% of cash on the over. Line moving towards the under. 94% of tickets, 88% of the cash is on the Yankees. Line moving towards the Yankees here in the spot. Rodon and Sears is the pitching matchup. Rodon 3.10 ERA, 1.10 whip, 11.79 strikeouts per nine, which is 32%. 2.48 walks per nine, a 2.79 BABIP, a 3.72 FIP, and a 3.01 Sierra. On the flip side, JP Sears 4.71 ERA, 1.29 whip, 5.34 strikeouts per nine, which is 14%. 2.2 walks per nine, a 2.66 BABIP, a 5.09 FIP, and a 5.24 Sierra. Bullpen edge, Yankees. Hitting edge, Yankees. 105 WRC plus, which is 9th compared to 90, which is 15th. I will look to back the Oakland A's every single game against the Texas Rangers in their final series in Oakland. Am I interested in this series? Not particularly. We have a Yankees team that still has a lot to play for. They're trying to lock up the division, which they have, I believe, 8 games remaining. They currently lead the Baltimore Orioles by 4 games. So they are closing in on the AL East crown. I'm so glad I avoided futures with the Orioles. I wanted to find a time to bet the Orioles to win the division and never pull the trigger. And I'm so glad I didn't, because I would be marking that up a loser within the next couple days, which would have been extremely frustrating because I wasn't high on the Orioles to begin with. So I'm very glad I avoided divisional futures with them, American League futures with them, World Series futures with them. I'm glad I avoided it all, because now the Yankees are going to run away with this division and take care of business there, and then try to work themselves into the playoff or into the 1 seed, which they currently are a half game better than the Cleveland Guardians at the moment. So there's that. So it's no play for me. I lean under the total. Just a slate where I'm not getting a good feel on many games, honestly. I'll be on the last game here because I want to fade Walker Buehler, but I'm not going to be moving on this one, though. Braves, Padres, moneyline parlay. I could see it. Yankee smash. Over 7.5. Spankies. This is going to be another massive home run game. Fair. 29 home runs for Rodon. Yeah. Liberty minus 17. They're 7-point favorites against ECU. Yeah. 24 home runs for Sears. There you go. Those are good angles for the home run props. I don't mess with home runs or anything like that, but let's get into the final game, though, where we have the LA Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies. We have this line open up at a 260. It's now at 265. Line open up at an 8.5 minus 115. It's now a 9 at minus 105. I feel like I'm going to be too heavily invested into this game. 92% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is on the over. And the line's moving towards the over, though, so they've shown some respect towards it. 98% of the tickets, 88% of cash is on the Dodgers in this game as well. Cal Quantrill, Walker Buehler, both these pitchers have been pretty bad as of late. 5.54 ERA, 2 whip for Quantrill last 30 days. 5.54 strikeouts per 9, which is 13%. 9 walks per 9. A 239 BABIP, a 5.94 FIP, and a 7.34 SIERA. On the flip side, Walker Buehler, 4.35 ERA, 1.50 whip, 8.27 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%. 3.92 walks per 9, 300 BABIP, a 5.3 FIP, and a 4.6 SIERA. Bullpen edge to toss up, really. Both these bullpens have not been very good as of late. Hitting edge does go towards the Dodgers, 124 WRC plus, which is 6th, compared to 82, which is 27th. I will be on the Rockies just because I'm riding out the last 8 games here of the Dodger fade. However, I will grab the over 9 as well. I'll grab the over 9 in this game with the thought process of if I do lose the Rockies, it'll be because the Dodgers score runs against Cal Quantrill. That would be my thought process behind that. So I'm on the over 9 as well. Anticipating if I do lose the Rockies, it will be because the Dodgers put up a lot of runs against Quantrill in the bullpen. So Rockies plus 220 money line and the over 9 for me, minus 105 in this game. Okay, minus 17. I would still lay up to minus 17 extendo clip. Why? What have now? I'll put that. I did not bet ECU this today. I did not touch that game today. But there's no way I'm laying 7 points with a team that's yet to cover this season. The Liberty have been winning but not covering. That's probably what they'll do. This will probably be a 3-point win for Liberty. Yeah, Ohtani's going to hit 3 home runs again. Dodgers smash. Dodgers minus 2.5. Over 9. CSU ram it. No. I am on the opposite side of that game. Let's take a look. Who is Colorado State playing today? Oh yeah, I'm on UTEP plus the 10. I got UTEP at 10. So that's down to an 8.5. So I like that. Rockies pitcher throwing beach balls. Cal Quantrill's not been as good as of late. I will say that. That does scare me a little bit. UTEP is pathetic. Cool. I got in at 10. And it's a bad spot for the Rams. It is. But that is it for today's card. The recap will be on my CapperTek, which let me throw that in there. Which let me get the what do you call it? What is it? It's at Nicholas. CapperTek.com. I don't have it up on my laptop right now because CapperTek was being stupid there we go. It'll be, if it'll load, that'll be awesome. Cool. So I can put this where? There's the link. Cool. Let me put that up. There we go. And if you follow me, I will give you a full week of plays for free. So, which it's been the struggle bus lately. It's not pretty at the moment. So, but yeah. I will be, only 8 followers still. Okay, so that's fine. But yeah, all my plays will be posted on there. So there's that. The Miners in high elevation. Good luck to you. Yeah, no bueno. Yo, let's go, Joe. Kryptonite. Texans, Chiefs, moneyline parlay. I like the Texans tomorrow. I don't know what to think about the Chiefs yet. I do not know, but I am going to be on the Texans tomorrow. That's for sure. But that is going to do it for today's card. I want to thank you guys as always for watching. We'll catch you guys same time, same place. Another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.